I've been amazed at how much everybody's saying that this somehow is like really damaging to the UFC. And the UFC, oh, this is terrible. Do you remember Dana White was like, oh, this is terrible. After McGregor did the thing with the bus, it was like, God, this has gone too far. He's gone. Remember, there was like 4 of them in the room, or 3 of them in the room. I think Kevin Aioli was one of them. And there was about an hour long where he was just like trying to find out what had happened. And then they used the footage of that thing that was so awful to hype up this fight. They don't care about this. They actually do not give. They don't care about what happened at all afterwards. It is exactly the type of thing that they want to turn Khabib into the next global superstar and to potentially be able to roll this on. Like, it's exactly what promoters want. Promoters want promotion. They are just doing what Don King did, except on a, like, cruder level.
On a more Vince McMahon level.
Well,
I think
Vince McMahon probably would be much more conservative. Basically, they created this McGregor phenomenon, lost control of it, and are now profiting off the back of it. Like, it doesn't feel to me like this is something that UFC feels is a bad thing for the sport, really, because it's not a sport; it's a business.
Well, yeah,
it's not bad for business, is it?
Well, I agree that that's what they feel, but I think that some of that optimism is very, very misplaced. I think it's a good thing for the UFC, but it's a bad thing for the sport of MMA that they will obviously ride the crest of a wave off this. There will be people who enjoy that sort of thing that we saw on Saturday night that thought to themselves, well, this is crazy, this is amazing, this is absolutely, this is the sort of thing I want to watch now. It's like a soap opera and I want to watch the next fight. Those people, I would say, are not real mixed martial arts fans. They are people who really aren't in this for the sport. They're in this for the drama, they're in this for the press conferences, they're in this because maybe they see a bit of themselves in someone like Conor McGregor. Do the UFC therefore run the risk of actually alienating themselves from actual mixed martial arts?
But they don't care about it.
Fans. But they should probably care about it, because the people who are interested in this are the feeding fans, the fans that may not watch a single UFC bout once the Conor McGregor era is over, and that is a very dangerous line to walk from the UFC.
They're going to watch Khabib next. That's what happens. It's like you get sucked in, and I think it's just a gateway to other fighters. Like, ultimately, the business model is to create as much hype and bullshit as you can around, from the UFC's perspective. Like, and divorcing these two things, UFC are not the guardians of MMA. They don't care about the success or failure of MMA as a sport or as they just want to make money. And like it recently sold, it's exactly the same as the Glazers, right? It's exactly the same situation as Manchester United and the Glazers. What a lot of football fans still mistake is that the Glazers are not interested in anything other than how much money they're going to make off the club. And that's exactly what the new owners of UFC want. All they care about is making as much money as possible from ticket sales and pay-per-view, and ultimately it's pay-per-view, and keeping the price of the fighters down, so depressing the value of the fighters. So that whole kind of notion of the churn of fighters is really bad for the sport, because it means that fans don't build up a loyalty to them. Fans just want to go, the UFC fans just want to go and watch the fight and see what happens and be part of that. MMA fans, I suspect, are actually watching different promotions, like smaller ones. And,
sure.
And like, UFC is just a racket to make money.